My name is JJ, and I'm here alongside my two co-hosts, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And Brian.
Oh, no! No! Back to episode 2.
We're keeping this one.
Brian. My name is Brian.
All right.
Mark, my name is Mark. No.
All right. Brian, stepping on my lines.
Hi, my name is
Yeah,
Mark. No!
yeah. He goofed
My
up.
lines.
Right.
Hi, my name is Mark. No! No!
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of The Frozen North, your source for the best that story-focused gaming has to offer. My name is JJ, and I like RPGs.
My name is Mark. Howdy, y'all!
And welcome back, Mark, with the howdy y'all. I am Brian, and I also like role-playing games, because who doesn't like to play a role in a game?
JJ.
I just said I did, though. You didn't say you like playing any games, which, you know what, judging by your track record, I kind of believe.
Oh!
Oh, no, you did say Saints Row was fun.
But you got me there.
So, all right, guys. Episode 10, man. That's our first
milestone.
first milestone, if you will.
Yay.
Pretty sweet.
I'm excited.
If you're new to listening to our show, we're basically just a podcast that we talk about video games. Video games. We talk about video games while going through puberty.
Yes.
And no, we talk about games that are just basically heavy focused on story and characters and character development and basically anything except for Call of Duty and Madden.
But Call of Duty has a story.
Come on, bro. Hey, bro, let's play some Madden, bro.
Don't act like that, because I've seen your Facebook posts in the past and you play Call of Duty, so don't even.
I do play Call of Duty.
You did, because that it came out and I was like, Brian, too much Call of Duty results in a lack of the Call
Hold
of
on.
Duty.
I played Call of Duty, but I don't play the multiplayer. I played for the story.
So,
I don't. Was that a sound effect
That was
leading
like
into the
supposed to be
next
like
segment?
my boom roasted sound effect, but it didn't really work out.
Gotcha. Real quick, I did want to give a quick shout out. Just this past weekend, I don't know if any of you guys, I know you guys have obviously, but to any of our listeners, if you haven't heard of the Speed Gamers, they are a group of gamers who literally just play video games to raise money for charity. And they just go, like, they pick a theme or a series, and they play through all these games in a set period of time, whether it be a week or 3 or 4 days or something like that. And they just raise tons of money for a different charity every time, and it's so cool to watch, and it's awesome. They stream the whole thing over the internet. Their website is thespeedgamers.com. Check them out for sure. They gave us a huge shout out in this past marathon that they did over the weekend. It was a Halloween marathon, and they just played a bunch of Halloween and horror themed games, which was incredible. I think which one is their next one is actually a Zelda marathon. They're going to be playing through Zelda games. And it starts on December 13th. So again, please go check them out, because they're a great group, really nice guys, and a couple of girls. Thespeedgamers.com. Definitely check them out. And if you're a listener from that group, welcome. So all right.
Hey guys.
All right then. We got a couple extra things that we're going to go over this episode.
Sweet.
The first thing that I want to go over, though, is something new that I want to introduce to the
New
show.
things
I don't like
scare
change.
Me. No. New
Mark,
thing.
can you please? You don't have to say the name of it, because I don't want to, any copyright things. But what am I holding in my hand right here?
You are holding flavored corn tortilla chips.
That is very true. Good.
I was just looking for a bag of chips. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. Now, do you have any guesses as to why I would be holding a bag of chips?
Because they may be a prominent sponsor of Xbox.
Yes. No.
Not. Well, I mean, it does say Xbox on the thing, but no, it's not. Not at all.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to show you why. Now, if you haven't heard our show before, Brian has a bit of a reputation on our show.
I didn't know about this.
He tends to, because as soon as I say it, you're going to be like, oh, I guess, yeah, some people have said, because I've given you crap about it. I know people have said it on the Facebook page, too. Brian has a reputation of going on these long-winded rants sometimes, and a lot of times they kind of get either incoherent or off topic, and we wonder what the hell he's talking about. We love him to death. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes we're just like, where's he going with this? And then eventually he ends, and he's like, so that's what I got. And then we're like, what? Huh? Oh, okay. So the reason I have this bag of chips is every time, this is kind of a double check to Brian now. Anytime he goes on one of these tirades, if he starts to go too far, you guys are going to hear this.
Oh,
Nice.
man. I'm just trying to take you guys on a journey. You don't understand.
I like
We're going on a journey together.
Is it like your other journey?
Well, yeah, like your other journey.
Oh.
So that'll be Brian's cue.
Hold on.
Hey.
Can I have a chip?
That'll be Brian's cue
Hey, I'm going on a journey.
to move it right along.
All right.
Can you tell me how your journey's going?
He's on the second game finally.
I am now playing Final Fantasy 2. So
How are you liking it?
I am enjoying it very much.
For those that don't know, in episode 1, about like back in June, and it's November now, Brian said he was taking a journey of going through every Final Fantasy game. And it's kind of escalated into like, well, I'm going to play a game in between each one. And then it turned into like 4 games in between each one. And then he's like, well, I'm playing a game on my Vita and on my PlayStation and a PC game in between that. But I'll get to it eventually.
But if you think about it, once I get past Final Fantasy 6, I skip 7 and 8, beat them. I have to beat 9.
But you said you were going to play them all. You going back on your word?
No, the ones I haven't beaten.
That's not what you said, though.
I might have to check the record, but
Pretty sure he said all of them.
Yeah, he said he's going to play through the.
I have
series.
perfected 7, and then I perfected 8. Why would I play those again? There's no.
Because they're awesome.
I know they're awesome, but I don't
Are you going
have
to play
anything-
all the Game Boy ones?
No. Just like
The main series.
The main
That's
series.
what he means.
I want to get to a point where, because see, I'm going through the hard ones first to get through, and then I feel like once I get further, then JJ's going to have pressure to have to beat 2 and which ones do you haven't beat 2 and 3?
2 and 3, yeah.
Then he'll have to like really get through them because he won't want me to be master Final Fantasy guy over him.
True enough. But you've got like 4 more that you haven't
Yeah,
beaten either
that's
that I
true.
have. So,
True.
all right. Well, I mean, I guess since we've kind of already kind of started into talking about what we've been playing lately, what else? Anything other than Final Fantasy 2?
Started Final Fantasy 2, beat Pokemon, so done with that.
Which one?
X.
You mean Y?
I mean Y.
Wow.
It's the same thing, really.
It's not.
Anyway, I stayed. It's my brother's birthday, and I stayed over there this weekend to hang out and played and beat Metal Gear Revengeance or whatever, Rising Revengeance.
Just
What I don't
Yep.
understand Metal Gear
because
Rising Revengeance.
I love listening to you struggle with words. It's great.
I know.
Lawnmower.
Anyway, after I was rudely interrupted, then I started. Kyle and I went game shopping, and I bought God of War Ascension. It's the only one I haven't beaten yet, so I started that as well.
Do you get anything on the Steam sale?
I got no, I didn't. I was gonna get 400 days, but I just forgot. But I'll get it when the winter sale comes around.
It's still super cheap, anyways.
Right.
So, I picked up Costume Quest.
Yeah, I was gonna pick that up
Nice.
too. I was gonna pick up Costume Quest and 400 days, but I forgot.
All right, Mark, what you been playing?
I've been playing Metro Last Light. It's pretty good. It's
Good, you like it?
scary.
Is it really?
It's actually pretty scary and pretty intense.
When are we going to get Shannon to play the new Amnesia game?
The new
Okay, mind you,
there's some issues with it.
for everybody that's
I'll have to see what
listening,
it costs.
for everybody's listening, Shanna is Mark's girlfriend, and these two men like to have her play, and they watch.
Much like you do with your brother.
Yes,
Video games, people.
yes.
The way Brian said that sounded really dirty, and it's not what we meant at all.
Yeah, they like to have her play the scary games.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely had her play Amnesia, and we sat in the corner and
Right.
held each other tight.
Still talking about
That
video
game
games?
freaked us out. It did.
Yeah, I've seen videos.
Man. You watched your brother play it?
No.
Is that it, pretty much?
Yeah,
Metro?
that's it. I missed out on the Steam sale, unfortunately.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you and me both.
Well, I mean, in true Steam sale fashion, I picked up Costume Quest and haven't touched it yet. Because that's,
There you go.
that's how Steam sales work. You buy the games and you just don't play them forever.
Yep.
I actually did finish Pokemon X.
I finished Y.
You did. We played together quite a bit.
we did- we
we're
even
gonna
traded.
review that here in a,
Yeah,
here in
we
a
will,
bit.
we will.
Which oh man, it was great. Good
Loved
times.
it.
I played a little bit of World of Warcraft. Got a little bit back into that after like a 3-month hiatus. Oh, like I
What
said,
are you doing?
What is
You gonna
happening?
let me talk? You know, let me talk.
Maybe.
Is it my turn?
Give
My
me a
turn to
chip,
talk
Mark.
now.
Give me a
Might be.
chip, crunching.
I'm not ranting right now. You guys are interrupting me. How did you get a chip? Did you take another one?
Mark's
You gave it to me
Houdini.
earlier.
You're like on the other side of the room. Did you just like save a chip?
Yeah.
All right.
Straight up.
I didn't want
Okay.
it for now.
That's one. Okay.
I
All
knew
right.
I would eventually want it.
Anyways, the only reason I still hop on there, and I've said this a million times, is because I want to keep in touch with my friends on there. You know, most of them don't live around here, so it's the only time I really get to communicate and hang out with them. Well, hang out in Azeroth, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I really haven't been. I've been focusing a lot more on like school and work. Other than that, so
Right on.
well,
So you've been focusing on all the wrong things.
yes,
Yeah.
like paying bills,
Yeah,
and
that's-
such.
Who does that?
It's ridiculous. I know. All right. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and go into our one review
Uno
this week.
Reviewo.
Brian, give me a noise that reflects the worldwide phenomenon that is Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Is that how the song goes? I don't know.
Sort of.
Cool.
Not even well.
Those are some
You know
of the
what?
words.
Gotta catch
I
'em
can't
all.
answer that without acknowledging the fact that I
Gotta
do know the
catch
whole
'em
song
all,
by heart.
Pokemon.
I do.
Sing it.
Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
I'm not doing this. No.
Okay.
I'm watching Audacity and Brian's like little blue lines are going off the chart.
Because I'm singing that Pokemon. Pokemon.
All right. So, Mark, what did you think of? Oh, that's right. You don't have a 3DS.
Oh.
Man.
Pokemon X and Y, developed by Game Freak for the Nintendo 3DS.
Yes.
And what a game. What a game.
I enjoyed it.
I did as well. It's been a while for you since you've played a Pokemon game.
I never really even played through it very much. I dabbled a little bit in Green, I believe.
The remake of Blue?
Yeah, I don't even know. Like,
It is.
I'm really not a Pokemon
Take my
guy.
word for it. Yeah, I mean, I played Red and Blue, and then I played Sapphire, and then I played Black and White, and now I played this. And, man, it's just one of those series that it seems like things just get better and better. I mean, we'll just dive right into it. Start with the pros. The one, you know what? This is the first, out of all those Pokemon games that I've played, this is the first time that I literally would listen to the music. Because the other ones were, I mean, it was okay. It was just kind of catchy, but after a while it got kind of old. The music in this, especially like when there's like a big story event or something like that, it got epic and just, I mean, it was awesome. It was really, really cool. The story itself as well was, I liked how many different aspects there were to it. Like you had, instead of just one rival, you had like 4 friends that were with you, and each one of them had their own little mini story that, one of them was trying to, one of them was trying to be the strongest, another one was trying to have the best dancers
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. And then, I mean, there were 2 other ones too that I don't remember off the top of my head, but like, there's just so much going on, and I think that's very, very cool. And then obviously there's the main story of, going to the gyms and defeating the Elite Four, and which is in every game. And then there's the whole story against Team Flare, which I liked the antagonist, the bad guy, because he was again another one of those
Trying to do the right thing, but
not the best method
Yeah,
of
exactly.
doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cool. I really liked
Yeah.
it. Another one of my pros, I loved how it had an online feel.
a
almost.
community, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, this is probably the closest thing we're going to get to an official MMO, at least thus far. You can't like see other people playing on your screen and stuff, but Brian and I would like, we'd send each other, you can send each other items, buffs.
Yep.
You can trade on the spot, through the internet. You don't have to be connected through a cable
With
or be in the
voice
same
chat.
room. You can talk voice chat.
Yeah, so like
Nice.
if you want to explain a trade, you don't have to try to type it. You can just be like, hey, I'll take this, but you got to give me this. I'm trying to beef up my Pokemon collection.
Yep, absolutely. Battling. You can battle on the spot as well. Like I said, trading. You can. I mean, there's just so much you can do that you used to have to be either in the same room or connected by a cable.
Yeah.
And it really, really streamlines everything and makes it to where if you don't have, a lot of people that play the game, you can still. What's cool is like, it shows you'll be in an area and it'll show you everybody in the entire world who is in that zone at the same time as you, and you can send them buffs, they can send you buffs, trade, battle, all that stuff. And it you can't directly type and say stuff unless you want to. Well, you can, but it's really, really annoying to have to change your shout every now and then. You basically just go into a zone and your guy shouts. But I mean, just being able to see who's there with you and stuff is a cool aspect of it. And my last pro that I really liked is the I don't know if you really experienced this, but the global trading. Did you ever actually mess around with that? I did it
twice. I did the Wonder Trade once, and I did global trading twice. Actually, I traded you the Ryulo.
Yeah.
And I got that from no, actually, I'll tell you. Go ahead. But I got that from a random person just wanted to trade with me. I was like, "Who is this?" And then popped Ryulu in the screen and said anything, and I just put a random guy in, and she gave me Ryulu.
I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that people do that. It's mostly because a lot of people are trying to get like perfect stats and all that stuff. So because they want to like have really good teams for battling and everything. I don't care that much about the battling aspect. I like collecting them and trying to just fill up the Pokedex. Which with the global trading, you literally will just get like you'll just get a random Pokemon that you don't need anymore, and go to global trade, and it trades with somebody else in the world who's trading something random. Now, honestly, you would think, oh, well, I'm just going to get a bunch of crap that way because everybody's going to be doing that. Yes and no. Yes, you could get a lot of crap, which I did, but honestly, it took me like, 3 or 4 trades, boom, I got another starter. I've got all 6 of the starters that you can get from Generation 1 and the new generation just from doing that. And then I got so many extras that I was able to there's other global trades where you can specifically request what you want for what you're going to be giving. So I got an extra Froakie, who's one of the other starters, and I put it up on the global trade, and I'm like, I want an Abra for this Froakie, and boom, within 20 minutes, somebody trades me.
Nice.
So, and most of that comes from people, again, breeding, and they're like, oh, this isn't the stats I want, so they throw it on there, and they just let other people have it. I mean, it's so much easier than... I literally used to have to buy both versions of the game because I didn't know anybody else that played these games.
Right. And
then I'd have to find somebody else with another system and be like, can I borrow your system for 2 seconds just so I can trade myself? And it was stupid. So those are my pros.
My pros, I like the visuals, actually. I like it's like a pseudo 3D, but they kept like kind of the art style. I enjoyed with some of the Pokemon's art style. Like I got this really cool Tyrannosaurus Rex guy. He was awesome looking. I just was like, look at him. And it was fun.
I got him through Wonder Trade.
And let's see, other pro. I am an old school. Like I like turn-based combat. I hate timed combat. I hate all this other like. I just like to pick my move and say, okay, boom. I really like the combat aspect, and it's really basic, but I enjoyed it. Like, okay, I'm going to use this move on this turn, this move on this turn. Kind of planned it out. I really did like the community aspect. I just want to point out that JJ and I did battle, and I did win. And Brian won.
He did.
Ooh.
Because 90% of the fight was just us switching out left and right. And eventually I gave up and was like, just, oh my God,
I'm
whatever.
hearing that the novice beat the master.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway.
You want to look at it that way? Sure.
I
had all fire guys in my party. I didn't even know how it was going to go down.
And I liked the breadth. I like how big. The world was pretty big for a small handheld game.
Yep.
It was a lot of places to go, a lot of things to see. Those would be my pros.
Did you buy the DS just to play the game?
No, there's a ton of DS games that are on my backlog that I want to play. Well,
3DS, sorry.
Well, I know, but if somebody's
3DS
hearing this and they think,
there's
I'll
a
just go buy
lot
it
of games on the
3DS.
3DS that I want to play. Yeah.
Cons. I don't have very many. I've got 2 that I could think of off the top of my head. One, the 3D. Honestly, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
There's really not much.
And that's not all the time either. It's like sometimes.
No. Yeah, it's only like in battles and some
some
cutscenes. And yeah.
Yeah, weird.
And honestly, like if you have your 3D on, A, it drains the battery like crazy. And B, it can hurt your frame rate too. So it's almost a detriment to have it on. So I kept it off the whole time. So, and then my other con is the camera angles. Sometimes, like if you're in a town, if the buildings are really tall, you really couldn't angle your camera to where you could see your guy because buildings would be in front of them. And yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Any cons for you?
Yeah. I didn't like the story.
Really?
I'll explain why. It's very just kind of basic.
Well, yeah, but it's
I would put that as a minor con.
It's essentially a game for kids.
You're right, exactly. and it didn't really engage me. I was just like, oh yeah, okay, I'm doing this, and then the appeal for the game for me was just the collection aspect and the cool different Pokemon and whatnot, but I didn't really like the story. I hated some of the characters, but I had this problem with a lot of Japanese games. Some characters really, really annoy me. Like, for some reason, they write the characters just to be annoying, and it like gets to me. And there are a few characters that I just like, oh God, go away, okay. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like the fat kid,
the dancing guy.
Yeah. I mean,
he didn't really have a place,
right? Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna catch all the Pokemon, and they're gonna dance, and it's like, all right,
that was a little weird. He's not joking.
Yeah, I'm not joking. The other con, I don't. How do I put this? The game was stupid easy.
Mark's like got that
Mark's
chip.
got the chip.
You're gonna ruin this for me, Mark.
Look, the game. I'm a kind of guy. We've established that JJ and Mark are less about difficulty, more about story. I need a balance. I need the game to be just hard enough that it challenges me, but not hard enough to where I want to punch a window and shatter the glass. So the game was way too easy. Way too easy.
You're okay with punching the window as long as it doesn't shatter the glass.
Yeah.
No, I want to shatter the glass. Anyway,
that window better be breakable.
Anyway,
I'm hitting it.
The game once my Greninja got out leveled everything, I was one shotting like bosses. Just
yeah, that's how it usually goes.
I know, and
it was very easy.
It was really, really easy.
It's by far the easiest of the Pokemon
Right.
games, at least that I've played.
So I mean, those were my cons. I like a game with a little bit of challenge to offset some of the quirkiness, and it just was. I loved the game. Don't get me wrong, but those are pretty connish.
All right. Well, do you recommend it?
Let me recommend it like this. If you get addicted to like collection and you like that kind of game, absolutely. I'm speaking for somebody who isn't very familiar with Pokemon, and I went into it not having any expectations. I was like, I'll probably play it for a couple days and I'll get bored. I played it all the way through. It was awesome. I loved it. So if you have a 3DS and you're looking for a game that might get addicted to, absolutely recommend.
I am going to recommend it with a quick stipulation. Well, not that quick, but if you're a Pokemon fan, you're already going to pick it up most likely. So, I mean, if you play the other ones, you liked them, by all means, grab it because it's a great addition to the series. If you've never played a Pokemon game before and you start with this one, I don't know if that's such a good idea because, like I said, this one is so much easier than the other ones. Which, like if you haven't played it before, if you haven't played a Pokemon game before, yeah, it's going to be fine, and you're gonna go through it and have a good time. But if you are like, oh, I should check out the other games in the series, you're not going to like the other ones because it's so much harder to level up in those games. This one has an EXP share that gives experience to your entire party and levels up your entire party at the same time. The other games do not. You literally have to switch out one by one and have your fighter in there.
Ooh.
And it takes a lot longer. There's a lot of grinding in the older games. So if you want to start with one, I would recommend going back to one of the other ones and see if you like that. And if you think it's okay and you still want to try this game, by all means go for it. And, don't go back to the other ones because you can totally play this and have a great time and leave it at that. But just if you play this first, don't expect the other games to be like it. So it's a great game though overall. I definitely recommend it to anybody interested. So, all right. That's our one review for this episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna just stop it there, just because
we've got a kind of a longer episode, so we're trying to.
Yeah, Brian and I have been playing the crap out of that game, and Mark doesn't really game, so we were.
Oh,
I'm kidding. He was playing Metro, sort of, and he's just nodding, like, yeah, sort of. We're gonna do, just because it's our 10th episode, we kind of wanted to throw in something a little extra, so we're gonna do what we call the Great Debate.
We say it like this, though. The Great Debate!
Is that how we say it?
Yeah.
That's how someone says it.
All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to, basically, each of us is going to debate one of the other people.
Yep.
And then the third person is going to judge and basically say who they think won.
All right.
So the first thing that we're going to do is Brian and I are going to debate Xbox One versus PS4. I'm going to be saying PS4. He's going to be saying the wrong answer.
And this does not necessarily reflect our actual views. Some of us had to take the,
What do you mean? I don't like the Xbox One. It's totally true.
I'm just saying, like, we're just doing this for fun. FYI.
This is all Brian's idea, FYI.
Yeah. So Mark's gonna keep track for Brian and I, and he's basically going to time us, and at 30 seconds he's going to tell whoever's up to stop, and then the other person's going to go for 30 seconds, and then we'll go back to the first person again for 20 seconds, and then the second person again for 20 seconds. If you ever are on YouTube and you've ever heard of Smosh or look at their games channel, they actually do something like this. They call it PvP, and they can virtually the exact same thing is what they do.
Yep.
Are you just saying yep, or do you actually know what I'm talking about?
I'm saying yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
God. All right, so we're gonna give this a shot, and if it goes well, great. If it doesn't, I apologize in advance. So, why are you looking so weird?
I don't know. I always look weird. What are you talking about?
So, Mark, why don't you tell Brian when to start?
All right, Brian, you're going to start the argument, and I'm going to have you start right about now.
This is why the Xbox One is set up for the future. An innovative control scheme with the Kinect, a known pedigree of excellent first-party games. You got Halo, you've got Gears of War. I'm sure that Rise game's going to be excellent. It looks great. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is the Xbox One is going to do excellent.
Time!
Oh man, we are so not redoing this.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's all I had.
All right.
You didn't even argue a point without laughing.
I was trying to keep a straight face.
Do you need a moment to compose yourself?
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, that was tough. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
He pretty much just won it for me. I don't even need to do anything.
I don't know how you
Call
win.
my 30 seconds up, Mark.
Xbox One, they suck.
Oh, you still got 20 seconds to defend it.
Oh,
though.
I'll defend it. Watch me.
You ready?
All right, hold on. Oh, God.
I didn't believe a word I was saying.
Whew. All right, go ahead.
All right.
All right, JJ, start in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, the PS4 is way better than the Xbox One, other than, the reasons that you just mentioned why it's not. First of all, gaming integration with the Vita. What portable console does Xbox have that can connect with their system? Oh, nothing. That's right. PlayStation Plus has always been better than Xbox Live as far as the games that are newer, and you get ones for free, which is great, and the promotions are freaking awesome. So it's just a better deal all around right there. Also, the ability to hop into other people's games.
I think I won this one.
I didn't crack up on mine because I believe what I'm saying.
Okay. Now I will be
Are you-
rebuttaling JJ.
Are you ready? You get 20 seconds
20
to
seconds.
rebuke JJ. In 3, 2, 1, go.
First of all, they do have that. It's called Smart Glass, so you can do exactly what you can do with the Vita, but with any device. Rather, you don't just have to buy a Vita for the Xbox One. Not to mention, you said that the online personality is better for the online. Nothing beats the Xbox Live online experience. They have dedicated servers.
Time!
Real quick, though, I'm just pushing this in there. That's not what I said.
Whoa, illegal talking.
Hey!
The promotions and sales
You're
and
done.
stuff is what
Illegal
I was
You're
talking
talking.
done.
about.
I'm going to have
Thank you.
to deduct points. Do you have a rebuttal?
I do.
In 3, hold on. In 3, 2, 1, go.
What dedicated titles are for the glass again? I'm not really sure. The Surface, whatever it's called again. The what's it called? What's it called?
You can't.
You jerk. Anyways, you can hop into another person's game, even if it's a single-player game, and be like, hey, what's up, and talk to them while they're playing. There's no region locks, first of all. You don't want the PS4i? Don't get it. It's $100 cheaper. It's still indie-friendly.
Time!
I think I won that one.
Now, do I
I
get
just
to
threw
decide
1,000
who won?
arguments while you had, like,
It's
one.
called Smart Glass, by the way.
I said glass. That's, I don't know.
I
Doesn't
get
sound
to
too
decide?
smart to me. Yes.
I decide that JJ won
Oh,
because he didn't crack up during his argument.
Here's the thing. I didn't believe a word I was saying, and so it's hard to
You were fine until you were like, Rise is going to be a good game.
It's really hard to defend the Xbox One. I'll admit I did some doing research on it, trying to because when a debate you want to find out the things that's got a leg up on the PS4.
Sure.
I could not find much, so that's just the truth. I mean,
And as far as the Xbox Live thing, like I said, I totally think Xbox Live, as far as the connection and multiplayer, is phenomenal. It's way better, absolutely. But PlayStation Plus, the program and the sales and promotions that they have, I think blows Xbox their gold and silver and whatever
Gotcha.
crap they have out of the water.
Okay, I will be judging this next topic. We are going to be talking about the controversial should video games be considered works of art. This has been raging on since video games have been born, so we're going to go ahead and take Mark with the no, they are not art, and JJ will be taking the yes, they are art.
I'm going to just read verbatim what I wrote down.
I'm going to talk about Rise.
Yeah, don't do it.
You might win.
Okay, anyway, to start off, we will be going with JJ saying that games are art. So, JJ, you are starting right now. Go.
Yes, video games are works of art because art is defined as something in which beauty can be found. So virtually anything can be art. So why not video games? Also, games are becoming more and more visually pleasing with many of the same categories that, quote, real art has, like realism, abstract, surrealism, impressionism. Also, art is all about the individual and how they feel about it. Find me games that don't cater to individual people's needs and wants when it comes to, what they're playing and what they're doing. That's all I got.
Stop.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
All right. Mark will be arguing that games are not art, and you are going right now.
Video games certainly contain art, music, visual design, voice acting, yet London contains many Gothic structures with pointed arches, flying buttresses, and ribbed vaulting, and we would not call London itself art. Roger Ebert says art requires authorial control, but the game designers don't control what the player chooses to do. The players do. Is the player the artist? Certain so-called art games hardly fit the definition of a game as a test of physical or mental prowess with rules and challenges.
Wow.
Man, a lot of big words in there.
That was good.
I don't even know what he was
Okay,
saying half the time.
now to refute, JJ will be starting.
How do I rebut stuff that I don't even understand? He's just using a bunch of big words.
Are you ready to rebuke?
Your girlfriend wrote that for you, didn't she?
No.
Are you ready, JJ? Your time is now.
All right, I don't have anything major to say. However, I will just add, art is all about how something that makes the individual feel something. That's what I've always believed. Yes, you might say that we don't consider London to be art necessarily, but somebody might. Who knows? They might look at it like the skyline and be like, that is absolutely a work of art. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait. Yes. Okay, Mark, you are going to be refuting JJ's statement, so your time is now.
All right. Xanax can make me feel certain ways. What do video games offer other than amalgamation of existing art forms in a new wrapper? That's
You
all I
have
got.
10 more seconds.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So when
You're not going to rebut anything I said?
yeah. Okay. How do I judge this one?
Content?
Opening statement from Mark was good.
Use
Honestly,
all my material.
honestly, I'm gonna go with Mark. Honestly,
I could go either way on this.
yeah,
too, to
it
be
was
honest
hard
with
for
you.
me to go. I think Mark made. There's some points Mark made I never thought about, like that. Our video games art, they do contain. I believe they are. Art's in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who says they aren't, it's like, who the f are you? You know. Anyway,
Again, episode 10, I guess you had to do it.
yeah,
Because
gotta drop the f bomb.
you jerk.
But yeah, the way I judge it is, Mark brought some new things to the argument that I never heard before. So, I'll go with Mark.
Cool.
I don't agree
You don't agree?
with what I argued.
I know, and I didn't.
I think that games needed to explore the concept of authorial control and player agency.
Are you still reading word
Yes,
for
I
word
am still
what you had
reading
just
it
because you didn't get to
I
finish it?
felt sick to my stomach arguing that it's not art.
I know.
So
it's
I
not
prepared
art.
an apology.
Oh my god. Moving right along. So, Brian, I don't know how you're gonna pull this one off.
Oh
Chief.
boy,
Man.
here we go.
So, the next debate that we have, I don't even know why we decided on this, because this is not even a debate in my opinion.
I know.
But should video games be blamed for real-life violence? Mark is going to be arguing that no, they should not be blamed. And Brian,
So
devil's advocate,
Y'all can guess. I pulled the short straw.
you volunteered. You're like, I like doing that.
Okay,
That
all
sounds
right,
cool.
all right.
I like Rise.
All right.
So, and all right. So
I feel
we'll
like
go
I
ahead.
can defend this better than I can the Xbox.
We'll go ahead, and that's true. Probably. We'll start with Mark saying no, that video games should not be blamed for real-life violence. Starting in 3, You were looking at
Yeah,
your
I'm gonna just
pad.
read it verbatim.
Unbelievable.
That's why you plan ahead.
3, 2. Well, I took notes, just little cliff notes.
I can't do that.
All right. And watch, he's going to win both of his now because he did that. 3, 2, 1, go.
Video games often simulate violence, but just as playing The Sims doesn't make me great at keeping my house clean, and more importantly, doesn't make me more inclined to do so, playing Call of Duty does not make me a killer. Human beings distinguish the difference between play violence, be it horseplay or wrestling, and real violence. This is a basic mammalian instinct. In 2012, CNN reported official FBI statistics which showed violent crime to be in decline for the previous 5 consecutive years. Meanwhile, video games have become more popular this year.
Stop.
Okay.
You got an extra 9/10 of a second.
Oh, man. I call him foul.
So I'll give you the same.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Arguing that no, video games should be blamed for real life violence.
Yeah.
Oh, you. And 3, 2, 1, go.
There is an absolute direct correlation between the rise in video game violence, and you'll also see that there's a rise also in video game popularity, I should say, and gun violence. They're on the same trajectory. Is that proof in itself? I don't know. Also, when kids get a hold of kids with impressionable minds get a hold of games like Call of Duty, we don't know about everybody's mind, so you can say, while it doesn't affect all humans the same.
Stop.
Marcus was good.
You know what? And I have a feeling you're just going to continue reading.
Yes, he's not going to refute anything
He's
I
not.
said.
No,
This paragraph
he's
is
not even
perfect.
paying attention. Like, you didn't pay
I
attention.
paid
to anything
attention.
I said
know.
either.
I heard what he said.
I heard what he said.
It reminded me of that Family Guy when they're in Germany, and Brian's like, "There's nothing in this pamphlet about
I just want to point out
Germany
that,
between 1940 and
I just wanna
1945.
point
We
out-
was all on vacation."
I just want to point out that I was so mesmerized by Mark's opening statement that I completely flubbed mine.
Man, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Where video games and violent movies may be perceived to promote violent behavior, the real problem is mental illness and a lack of safety nets. Instead of banning video games, which may provide a healthy release for mentally sound individuals, we would instead look at how we can identify the mentally unstable and provide them a positive way to find public services and receive treatment.
Stop. You literally continued
Hey,
mid-sentence.
that
applied
he
to what he
did.
said.
Mid-sentence.
Kept reading his opening statement.
I was expecting you to start with a new point or something. Nope. Mid-sentence.
I don't care what you said, Brian.
Oh, it'll fit what you said.
Yeah, true.
Brian, you ready to refute that?
Yes.
I don't even know what you said, to be honest.
Oh.
And what's funny is he's probably got a little
you
more to
like
read
my
that he's going to
reading?
finish after this.
Do you like
All
my
right.
reading voice?
Starting in 3, yes. 2, 1, go.
Mark, while I do agree that mental illness is an issue, giving somebody a game with violence that can't discern between reality and non-reality can cause violent behavior because he doesn't know the difference between this is the game and this is right. So while I agree about the mental illness, you can't give them this kind of situation because you don't know how they're going to react.
That was good. I like that. That's very, very true.
Well played.
My opening, by the way, Kyle was cracking up. My opening statement was terrible. Just want to put that
Yeah,
out.
if you guys don't know, the infamous brother is here.
Yeah.
Kyle's kind of just listening in on us.
Mark got me.
And, man, we're all just dying laughing right now because
My opening statement was very bad.
that was
Mark got
really
me.
funny.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
I feel like my
Out of
rebuttal
that-
was good, though.
Your rebuttal was very good. Your opening statement was...
No, it was garbage.
It was
Kyle was
kinda
laughing
like-
midway through it.
I'm gonna have to call it, honestly. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna call it a tie, just because
Really?
I think Mark's opening statement was better, and your second half was better, just because
Mark
you
just
don't
read-
start mid sentence.
He just kept reading this.
Oh, I didn't start mid-sentence. I'll read it again.
Totally,
I'll
did.
read it again,
No,
man.
you don't have to.
That was good, though.
You really don't have to.
I just loved how it was like he started like an and or something.
You totally started.
I started with
mid-sentence.
where.
You started mid sentence, dude.
Where video games and violent movies may be perceived.
I thought it
Oh,
was.
that's a full sentence.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a good debate overall, though.
And then why I didn't finish the sentence. I didn't start the first part of a sentence and then
That
just
was
stop.
funny.
Oh,
God, I wish I could take that opening statement back, though.
All right. Oh my god. God.
he was like as soon as I started like getting flustered, Kyle was just laughing and it didn't help.
Man, it's a good thing we're not. Well, we're far from professionals, but man, it's a good thing we're not like trying to legitimately debate this stuff. Because man,
Terrible.
good job, guys. That's pretty solid
right,
though.
cool.
I like that was fun.
Yeah.
Got my blood flowing.
All right, on to Brian with news.
Hey guys, we got your news here. First of all, if you guys are a South Park fan and you are looking forward to the Stick of Truth, well, wait till March. The game did officially get delayed until March. Gigi, how do you feel about that?
You know what? Whatever. It's like it's already been delayed once, which it was a month, and then I hear this and I'm like, oh crap. You know what? Honestly though, it probably works out for the best, at least for the podcast, because I was like, man, I'm going to be getting this game. I'll probably want to do a review for it,
Yep.
but there's some other stuff I want to play first. So you know what? This gives me time to hit the backlog again. What? You're raising your hand.
Are we going in order? Right
Yes,
now?
I had to add
He
that
is.
one.
He added that one in.
Anyway,
Oh my god.
Mark, how do you feel about? Were you excited for Stick of Truth?
Didn't they announce that a long time
Yes,
ago?
they did.
They announced
But
the game a long time
If you
ago.
remember, they went through THQ and then they went bankrupt.
yeah.
So
You know what's funny though is, do you guys remember the trailer that they played at E3 for it?
Nope.
At the end of the trailer, Cartman says coming this November, and then he says or somewhere later on. You know how video games are.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh yeah, good point.
I hope it's just because
Touche.
they're trying to perfect it, kind of like doing the Blizzard mentality.
I'm sure that's what it is.
So I hope so. Our next topic, Titanfall.
Woo!
Big next gen console game
Looks amazing.
Will be released also on March. So get your wallets ready for March 11th. Actually, be coming to 360, Xbox One, and PC the same day. So I don't have to own an Xbox One to play it.
I'm not that excited for Titanfall.
You know, I want
What?
to try it out. It looks
really
legitimately
good.
cool.
It looks cool, but I don't. I mean,
Another,
as
another
far as
little,
a story standpoint, I don't know
They
anything
haven't
about
really,
it.
they haven't told us anything
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
story. It's kind of
another little tidbit: $249.99 for the collector's edition. Holy f balls!
What does that come with?
It comes with like a big one of the mechs. I haven't really looked into the. I just looked into the price. So why don't you pull that up?
Let
for
me look at the article.
Yeah,
Just like last time when you're like,
I don't think the article has it.
What if it does?
Then
Just like that article didn't say where the PS4.
all right. Moving on. The
It includes the game, a 190-page art book, a schematic poster for the Atlas Titan, and an 18-inch Titan statue with a diorama and battery-powered LED lighting.
excellent.
No, it doesn't say anything
Anyway,
about that on
moving
there.
Moving on to
That's like the fourth sentence again. God.
Moving on, GameStop has officially reopened Xbox One pre-orders while supplies last. Obviously, the catch is you have to be willing to put down $100 bills, y'all. 100. So you
Did
can't
the-
just go $5. They want
It's a system.
right.
They want you to pay for the Connect first.
Yeah, we want the Kinect bot first. So that's how do you feel about that, Mark?
Did Sony stop taking pre-orders?
No, I think Sony's.
So what's the deal
I
with
don't know,
that?
to be honest.
I don't know. I want to say that the demand obviously was.
I think that's probably why. It's
yeah.
because of the demand. They want to be able to. I would assume there's a lot of cases where people don't show up to buy their stuff after they pre-order it, and this way they have a better guarantee that people are going to pre-order and get the systems that they actually bought. I honestly, whenever I pre-order something, I pay for the whole thing up front. That's what I do. I don't pre-order systems, to be honest. Other than the Wii U, I did pre-order that because it was cheap.
Sure.
But games, I always pay the whole thing up front. So, and I would
Yeah.
do the same thing if I pre-ordered a system as well.
Well, another report came out. If you guys are going to be buying some launch games for the PS4, you might want to do it at Target. Target is doing a buy two PS4 launch games, get one free. B2 G1, baby. Gotta love that. I mean, that's
pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. I mean,
It's like 33% off.
yeah, absolutely. The Walking Dead Season 2.
Thanks, Mark.
The Walking Dead Season 2 will actually be coming to PS3 and the PS Vita. So, you got, yay, Vita games.
PS Vita is getting a game.
Vita games.
Didn't Vita get the first season?
I have no
Yes,
idea.
it did.
Did it? Oh, cool.
Another news, Sony news, DualShock 4, they drop analog buttons, citing lack of interest. Analog sensitive. So you know how you depress it a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
So the sticks are still going to be there.
yes, but
Right, no.
they're not going to be. It's going to be.
That's what I was like.
a
The way
half
you
a-
have it written.
Right. The half a push is the same as a full push.
Okay.
I guess this was cited for lack of interest. It's going to be the first time since 1997.
Wait. Analog buttons. Doesn't that mean like when you push the analog stick down?
No,
No, they're referring to the pressure-sensitive buttons.
buttons.
So to speak.
Okay, so like if you hit the square button, if you hold it harder,
You can click it, and then you can just push it down even more.
yes,
I see. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes, sir. Confirmed. Call of Duty Ghosts, and this is actually I wrote this this news Wednesday, but we're actually starting to get more and more news on it. Call of Duty Ghosts, if you buy it for the Xbox One,
Hold on. I just want to savor this.
yeah, it's actually going to be native 720p on the Xbox One as opposed to the 1080p on the PS4. Now it will be upscaled on the Xbox One, but we're actually finding out a lot of the games that are going to be coming out cross console are this way.
Take that, Xbox One fans. Boom.
Yeah, so I don't know how you feel about that. If you're looking for next gen with like next gen graphics, I pay $100 more. And
I give crap, but to be honest, I think the Xbox One still has a lot going for it.
Sure.
Some of the games look incredible.
right
So we'll see if I ever
PC.
get one. But
now, just to keep it fair,
look cool.
Another little bad news for some fans for the Sony: the PS4 won't be supporting external hard drives. However, you can replace the internal one. It's just a little bit more hassle. I know a lot of people were up in arms about this because.
That's something you could patch in.
But
probably.
you can't. Yeah, well,
I don't
and you,
really care,
you
to be
can
honest.
upgrade to a 500 gigabyte hard drive according to Sony. But here's the caveat: games, especially Killzone, Shadowfall, that install is 40 gigabytes.
what does the launch
So you can only
version come
install it
with?
12 times.
Yes,
What does the launch version come with? Hard drive size.
I think it's
You
a
know?
250 or maybe it's 500. I think one of them is 500.
Yeah, I think the
The
Xbox One is 500.
I think that there's two versions of the PS4.
Oh, is there?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know why they would say you could upgrade. It's in the article it says you can upgrade to 500 gigabytes.
Oh, you read the article this time?
I did.
Let me take a look.
But games, but this Killzone thing. When I read about that, wow, 40 gigabytes. Like you're gonna have to, think about the end of the launch cycle. You're gonna have tons of games. I guess you can always delete off the install content, but
I don't know. I'm not seeing it here. I'm sure we'll
get
I'll
into
find
it
it
more.
later.
That's just kind of a little tidbit of news.
So that's gonna
I
fill up
thought
the
it
hard
was.
drive
I
pretty
could have
fast.
sworn it was 500 eventually.
I could swear you're 500 gigabytes.
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Maybe it
you're
is
saying the
250.
Xbox was 500.
That's what I thought. Is it not?
I know they're the same. That's all I know.
Oh, I thought the Xbox was 500. I don't remember what the PS4 was.
Anyway.
Weird, but I know.
Moving on, Final Fantasy 14 has reported 1.5 million players, meaning that that overhaul was well worth it.
That's
for them.
incredible.
That's amazing.
And that's 1.5 million subscriptions, right?
And that's in the that's just the 2 first months. So that's
Just
subscriptions.
registered players.
Yeah, registered.
So it's not subscriptions.
No, it's registered players.
To put that in perspective, Knights of the Old Republic had like 1 to 1.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit better.
I know, but I mean, I'm curious as to how many people actually stayed with the game after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we
And
won't.
actually bought
We'll
subscriptions.
probably have to wait a little longer to hear
And then
that.
our last piece of news: if Steam was a paid service, they would be basically quadrillionaires. They actually just got past their 65 million user mark, and let's do the math here.
That's crazy.
65. 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 is comprised of 2 number ones. 2 plus 1 is 3. So obviously Half-Life 3 confirmed. You heard it
check
here
your-
first, everybody.
All right, Dan Brown.
I'd like to point out Half-Life 3 is not confirmed.
Oh,
legitimately.
well, I did the
Nobody
math.
believes
I did the math.
anybody. They report that now.
I did the math, and it works out.
There's going to be somebody.
Gabe
But
Newell could come out and say
65
it's
gonna
announced,
be somebody.
and we wouldn't believe
65
him.
million users. That is, who?
That's impressive.
Yeah,
And I've been doing it since like the first month.
yeah.
that
I
it
have
was there.
9 years.
So boom.
I have 9 years of service.
Cool.
Good job, Brian.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. And that's it for
That's
major
your news.
news over
That's
the
your
past couple
news.
of weeks.
I like the format.
Well, with that, we'll move on into our next top 5. We're going to be talking about our top 5 video game heroes. Now, these aren't like protagonists. These are not main characters or anything like that. These are just people who, like in video games or characters in video games
Yeah.
who we think define what a hero is.
They can be protagonists. They can be the main character,
Absolutely.
but we're
They're
not
just
looking
heroic.
we're not looking for the anti-hero. We're looking for good.
Selfless and
yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yep.
So, since we're doing that, let's talk about it. What do you think makes a hero?
A hero to me, the most important thing, the difference between an anti-hero and a hero is that whole a means to an end argument. an anti-hero will do whatever it takes. He still has the same goal as a hero, but he's going to do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying?
True
He's, like, let's look at Batman as an example.
Mm-hmm.
He won't kill. Even if he could have just killed a Joker and been done with it. A long time ago, he sticks to his moral code. That's what a hero is. They say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to do it the hard way, because if I do it the easy way, it's going to turn out, not always great, as you see with a lot of anti-heroes.
Very true. Anything to add?
I think heroes are defined by their self-sacrifices. They don't, an anti-hero will sacrifice other people's goals and ideals, and
Yeah.
a hero will only sacrifice their own.
Now here's a question: Do you think like okay, when we did our villains,
Sure.
I know you and I have talked about this extensively. As far as like there are games where the quote unquote villain is trying to, in their mind, do the right thing, but their methods are awful.
That's the whole.
Do you think that in some weird, twisted kind of way they could be considered a hero?
Of
Absolutely.
course. Oh, there's tons of look at Kratos in God of War. You consider him a hero? He kills pretty much indiscriminately, but he's trying to get to a goal, right? So in his eyes, he's doing a good thing. He's trying to avenge his family. But you look behind him, and there's aftermath of blood and guts and just entrails everywhere.
Yeah.
So do you see what I'm saying? So you could, if you were to play a different character in that game, you would look at Kratos as the bad guy. It's kind of how I look at it.
That's true. I can see that. All right then. Well, we'll get right into it. You know what? I don't think Mark has started off our
Mark.
top five in a while.
No.
Why don't you go ahead and
Hold on.
hop
No,
it,
we threw
really?
him off.
I'm ready.
Really?
We
I'm
threw
ready.
him off.
You got a speech written for this one too?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. My top five, number five heroic. I've never started.
You always. That's
He
the
gets
second time he's done that.
He's a creature of needing it to be the same way all the time.
Number five for me was Double H from Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil is a game filled with heroes.
What a great game.
Never
Oh,
played
you
it.
played it?
Oh, I love that game.
A lot of people didn't play it.
I haven't. I watched you play it.
Oh.
So Double H is this guy that you encounter in one of the early dungeons. He's this chivalrous, armor-clad guy. He's kind of an airhead, and he'll charge into any situation to help a friend while quoting his military textbook, Carlson and Peters.
Carlson and Peters!
And he's fantastic. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Yeah, good one.
I'll go.
Okay.
My number five is Oliver from Nino Kuni. I don't know if he has a last name, if they mention it in the game or not, but I
Oliver
don't know.
Bolivar.
I don't think it's Bolivar. But he's just a little kid, and if I don't want to spoil anything, but at the beginning of the game, something very, very traumatic happens to him, and it kind of just, that's what the whole game is about, and it's going from there. And the whole game is just literally about him helping people and trying to get to the end where he's just making all these friends and literally going out of his way to do so many favors for so many people and just doing everything he can to, he's a little kid, so he's just trying to make everything good again, it really does a good job of making you feel like you are in the body of a child when you're playing, because his view of everything is so, he thinks like a kid thinks. He's upset when, something that you normally would be like, oh, that's stupid. He's very human, but he just wants to do the right thing the whole time. And I just think he's a really, really good character, and the game is amazing. So Brian should give it a try. I'm just saying.
We'll try it.
So my number five, Oliver from Nino Kuni.
Okay. My number five is Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. What can I say? She's in a really terrible situation. She kind of starts off really raw. She doesn't know. She's stuck in a tower all her life. She doesn't really have the kind of well-roundedness that most people have, but she goes through a lot. I don't know. Have you two played? I know you haven't, JJ.
Nope.
Have you played it? Okay. So you know how she goes through a ton, Mark, right? Mm-hmm. And even when she goes through all this stuff that would normally crush anybody else, she comes out and is still the sweetheart Elizabeth we know. When she's just trying to help Booker, get to where he needs to get.
Except for that one time.
You start off, I'm not kidding you, you start off as rescuing Elizabeth, but she ends up being your savior as you play as Booker. Wah, 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 wah. I got chipped.
Sorry, what?
I thought that was a pretty poignant.
Yeah, but what about that one time when she's not a hero?
I had to do it at least once in the episode.
And
Sorry.
I can't explain more.
Well,
without
when
spoiling
she's
it.
that one time when she's not hero, that's a different.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I just looked at him.
You
we
can't.
Have
You guys know what you're talking about. I will
But-
play that game eventually.
but
Definitely.
she ends up becoming the hero of that story. She saves you as Booker. It's pretty cool.
the whole game's an escort mission, isn't it?
No,
But it's a good
Oh.
one.
it's not the kind of
She's
escort
escorting
mission
you.
think.
Wait, so it is or it's not?
Hold on. She's escorting you.
Really,
Oh, all right.
it's a really well done game.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Moving right along. Mark, number 4.
Oh man, my number 4 is Frog from Chrono Trigger.
Oh,
Love it.
Frog.
I mean, do I even have to explain myself?
Please do.
Dost thou
You know,
explaineth?
he's the apprentice of Glenn, and he's there when Glenn gets killed, and he falls
Yeah.
off. He gets turned into a frog,
Yep.
and he saves the queen. And is it 800 AD? Is that when he saves the queen?
He is Glenn.
Yeah.
God. But the other guy isn't Glenn.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
The other guy who's not Glenn,
Yeah.
who was training him.
He was a squire. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta
he was
say.
the squire,
Yes.
and he saves
Man,
the
I should
queen.
have chipped you.
He saves the queen. Come on. And then he's super helpful,
yeah.
and he's very chivalrous.
He stays true to himself.
True enough. All right, Mark's number 4, Frog from Chrono Trigger. He's like just, other than being a frog, obviously, he's like, if you think medieval.
Prototypical like white knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, my number 4, Rudy Rough Knight from the Wild Arms 1,
call.
I should say. Rudy he doesn't say a lot. I think he talks maybe 2 or 3 times the entire game. When he does talk, though, all he's doing is sticking up for some other people who are getting bullied. It's pretty crazy because he sticks by his friends and he tries to do what's right the entire game, even after he finds out what he is. And I won't say that because have you played it?
I think he's the one with the.
He's the one that can use arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is something. There's a reason he can use them.
I think I know.
I just don't want to.
Don't ruin it.
Well,
yeah,
they're
I
at
don't
some
want to.
lab, and they find out something about the name of the lab.
I don't know about that. But I don't know. You just mouthed something to me, but I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Oh my gosh. I know what that one was. But he, like I said, he's very selfless, and even though life has been so crappy to him because it shows some of his past and he got bullied his whole life, he still is always doing the right thing and always just moving forward. And that to me is a mark of a true hero.
That's a true hero. When you
Absolutely.
can rise above it.
Definitely.
Rise above it.
My number 4, Rudy Rough Knight from Wild Arms.
Excellent. My number 4 is a pretty famous dude in the gaming world. He is Solid Snake of the Metal Gear Solid series. Really kind of self-explanatory. He is always seeming like he's just doing he's like one of those like rocks that doesn't ever move from his position. He's always doing the thing that's going to help. He cares about all his friends like Otacon, and he kind of comes off as I would say a very stereotypical hero. Kind of hard, does
He's
does
like-
all the tough work.
He's like Sam Fisher's cheesy cousin.
Yeah.
He would definitely be the main character in some Stallone film or something.
Exactly. He's your
Yeah.
prototypical action hero.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's why he's on my list. And he's just
You keep saying prototypical. Do you mean stereotypical?
no prototypical.
It's a little different.
Prototypical is a word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Prototypical is like a prototype.
It like means the same thing, but in a not a negative connotation.
Prototype and stereotype are 2 very different things.
Right. Prototypical means that it's basically call it a mold.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Okay.
He fits a
All right.
mold. There we go.
Very cool. Learned something new.
Every day.
Yay.
It's like saying stereotype without slamming the character.
Exactly.
Got it. Oh, that's a slam. But okay. Got it. I understand.
Right on.
So you're done?
That's. I mean, what?
all right.
I love this.
What else is there to say?
Yeah. Well, he's prototypical.
I understand. All right, Mark, number 3.
All right. Number 3 for me was Lee Everett from The Walking Dead. Now, I know, JJ, you didn't like this game very
You
much.
have said that so many times.
JJ, why didn't you like this game?
Man,
He didn't like the art
I
style,
loved
right?
it. I love this game. I'm not
all
a big
right.
fan of the art style, but the story was phenomenal.
So Lee is just this guy.
Just because I didn't cry at the end like apparently everybody else
You
did.
should have.
No, it's not that
I had
emotional.
to replenish my fluids when I was done.
Oh, my gosh.
So Lee is this guy who he's lost everything in his life, and he wanders into this backyard and finds a little girl, and does everything he can, if you played it right, does everything
Yeah.
he can
Point at me.
to take care of her.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
why
true.
I'm laughing.
No, he does.
It's true.
It's kind of his way. You and I talked about this the other day. It's kind of his way of atoning for his past.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think it's very, very cool.
Yep.
The way that he kind of, you might as well consider her his daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, at that point. Anything else to add?
With that, not without spoiling anything.
Well,
Yeah.
True enough. It's a great game, by the way. We're going to be reviewing that one soon. All right, my number 3, Cecil Harvey from Final Fantasy IV, or Cecil, depending on how you say it. I've always just said Cecil, just because I think it sounds better. Cecil, just, I don't know.
Cesspool.
I've always read it as Cecil. Well, I think it is pronounced Cecil, but I've always
Well, we
just pronounced
get
it as Cecil. Anyway, he literally, at the beginning of the game, he is thrown into a situation that he does not agree with, but he does it to follow his king's orders. His king took him in when he was a kid and has raised him up to be, you know, this knight and everything like that. And, I mean, you find some stuff out about it later on in the game, but, you know, when you're playing through the beginning, Cecil doesn't agree with what the king's doing. He's like, you know, why are we hurting innocent people to get these crystals? I don't understand. And the king's like, you dare question me after all I've done for you? And he's like, no, and then the king throws him out completely. And the game just moves on from there, where Cecil's like, I can't keep doing this. I have to stop it. And eventually he turns from being what they call a dark knight, which is like, you know, harnesses the power of
Batman.
darkness.
It's Batman. He's
to,
Batman.
Yeah, essentially. To becoming a paladin, which is a warrior of light. And again, another one of those where he just does everything he can to save those that he loves. And there's a lot of ups and downs throughout the game, and he's there for it all. He's the main character, and he's great. My number 3, Cecil Harvey.
Way to go. Wish I had a chip for you there, JJ. Anyway, I love you.
At least I stuck to the topic.
My number 3 is Garrus Vicarian from the Mass Effect series. He is a Turian. Quite a lovely Turian. By the end of the series, I feel like in that series, Garrus becomes Commander Shepard's like best friend. Like he's the most loyal of the characters I felt in the Mass Effect series.
I liked using him.
Just his story arc, he's always, you know, he always wants to do the right thing, but at the same time, he's right behind you. Like whatever you choose as Commander Shepard, he's like, you know what, I'm right there, whatever it takes. And that to me, when you have somebody who's like a soldier, who's an unflinching, loyal companion, that's a big, you know, that's huge. I mean, I don't remember one time when Garrus was like disagreeing with you as Commander Shepard. He was always just like, I'm in. You know, we're best buddies.
Yeah.
So and that's why he's my number 3. He's such a great character too. Just
yeah, I loved having him around. He's a cool character too. Like he's so insightful.
Yes.
He can give you some of the best info
Yep.
as far as, you know, what's going on and everything.
He's very professional.
yes.
Yes, that's a good way of describing him. Yeah,
And
definitely.
he kind of epitomizes the Turian race. They're like I would liken them to ancient, like feudal Japan samurai, where they're like very much about honor and and war, and he's just.
Have you played through all 3, Mark?
Just the first one.
Oh, just first one?
And this is why I'm not going to ruin anything.
You gonna play the second one when I play it?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
an FYI, when we first asked me to do this list, it was hard for me to not make all 5 Mass Effect.
Yeah,
did
they
initially.
were.
I know.
I'm still using that version of the notes.
The amount of characters and that have awesome adoration for is amazing. BioWare does amazing with characters. Let's put that out. But yeah, Garrus is my number 3. Let's move on.
All right. Mark, number 2.
My number 2 is me. I put down Commander Shepard,
There you
but
go.
I was clued in that I'm going to get some crap for that. So I'm saying that I'm the
Because
number
you
2
chose.
hero in video games.
Because you chose to make him hero.
That's a good point, though.
In a lot of video games, you have the option to be good or bad, and I'm always good.
Attaboy.
So I'm the best.
Attaboy.
There you go.
I think, Commander Shepard, since that's what I actually wrote down.
Yeah.
You can just say good Commander Shepard, because
Good
really he
Commander
was the character.
Shepard,
Yeah.
he goes around, helps everyone, solves problems.
When you say good Commander Shepard, I'm picturing like some dude in a uniform, like herding all these other guys in uniforms into a cage, like he's a Commander Shepard. That was funny in my mind. Shut up! I hate you guys.
That one just went, wah, 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 wah. Give me a chip.
I'm gonna chip myself.
Okay.
All right, we're good. I still hate you guys.
He saved the world.
He
So
did.
That's why he's the best.
That's a hero right there.
There you go. So
All
he's your number 2?
Yep.
All right.
My number 2 is Alex Noah from Lunar. Well, you could say Lunar the Silver Star or Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. Same game, just different systems. One's an upgraded version. Great game, by the way. But Alex is, he's just a kid who dreams of adventure and literally starts out just exploring a cave, and from there he goes on to save the world. I think the reason he's so high up on my list is because he really, like, epitomizes kind of, like, how I feel every time I delve into a new game. Like, I want to be that guy who came from nothing and all of a sudden turns his life into something that's huge and meaningful and great, and does it, for all the right reasons, like for somebody else. He, in his case, the game ends up he does it for love. But he's very, very selfless, and he just, like I said, he turns something or nothing into something, and ends up saving the world just because he thought it would be cool to explore a cave. It's a very, very good game. So Alex Noah, my number 2.
Excellent. My number 2 is Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher series. You could kind of have the same argument that I had with Mark. There are a bit of choices in The Witcher. Not quite as drastic as in Mass Effect, but Geralt is a very cold character at first. But one thing he has that is very much a heroic quality is loyalty. Without spoiling anything, the way the second game starts out, something happens, and he doesn't necessarily have to care about it, but he does. He wants to figure out, something happened that was pretty big, and he wants to find out. Actually, it was the end of the first game, beginning of the second game, I should say. But he's extremely loyal to his friends, and that's what makes a hero to me. Somebody who, even if your friends maybe not be the best people, as long as you're
that
loyal.
Unwavering loyalty.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to be. He's a Witcher. No one likes Witchers. They're very much discriminated against. They're not the kind of people who you keep as friends, but he starts out as kind of a mercenary, but then he becomes very loyal to situations that happen.
Cool. Not as loyal in bed, though.
No, not as loyal in bed. If you want to talk about his philandering ways, then yes, but overall, he's a very loyal, and I would consider him a hero, and he's my number 2.
Very nice. Mark, I'm going to facepalm on this one.
My number 1 hero is Link from the Legend of Zelda series.
Oh.
Link is the hero of time. He is constantly...
Go ahead, Mark. Keep talking.
He's reincarnated so that he can defeat Ganon every time and save Princess Zelda every time. And he always does. He never asks for anything.
He doesn't.
He never asks for anything, JJ. He just does what he has to do.
Yep.
Because that's his job.
I would say.
You know why he doesn't ask for anything?
Because he can't talk.
Correct.
Well, he can say,
He can talk in the cartoon series from the 90s.
I love that series, by the way.
Yeah, what does he say all the time?
Well, excuse me, princess.
Yep.
Yeah. What a hero.
Yeah, you know what? I can think Link is legit. He's not very fleshed out, but he's quite literally the prototypical hero.
He's reincarnated just to save the world.
No, he does. He steps up to the task.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot
that
of
is thrown in his way.
content to bite into, but
Go ahead.
No, I understand. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Link. He's a freaking hero.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
You can't really dispute that.
No, it's there's no way.
He's the hero of the story.
Right.
All right, so Mark's number 1, Link. My number 1 also starts with the letter L.
And mine.
it should have been my number 1.
Does it really? It does. Hey. So my number 1 should come as no surprise to anyone who knows me. From Final Fantasy VI, it is Locke, the not thief but treasure hunter, which is what he prefers to call himself. Locke is the epitome of like selfless people, even though he technically is a thief. So, and I think that's what makes him so great.
Right.
His whole backstory is he was with this girl and they're, together and everything, plan on just spending their lives together. They end up going into this cave just to explore it and stuff. Well, there's an accident. She ends up getting hurt really badly. He brings her back home. She ends up getting amnesia from it, doesn't remember him at all. So he devotes his life to finding a way to cure her amnesia and save her. And when he finally does, she regains her memories, and she literally is it gives her memories back, but she still ends up. Well, I mean, I don't want. It's not that much of a spoiler because it's just a side quest. But she ends up dying, and with her dying breath, she still says, forget about me. You can stop trying to just save me by trying to save all these other people. Because literally every person he would meet, he would try to save them because in a way he was still saving her. From when he couldn't save her, and he finally is set free at the end. But he still sticks by his friends, does what's right, and even though he is, like I said, a thief, he will always be, that guy who will do anything, go above and beyond for those that he cares about. And because of that, he's my number one. Locke.
Excellent.
Locke Cole is his last
Good
name.
number one.
Gotcha. Okay, my number one, not a lot of you are going to know this unless you've played Mass Effect. And unfortunately, I don't want to give a lot away because JJ is going to be going on that journey.
I spoiled it for myself.
But...
Oh, you looked it up? You looked it up?
Yeah.
Nah.
But I'm going to keep it... Legion is my number one. He's from the Mass Effect series. One of the most interesting characters I've ever seen in a game. Just from my standpoint, my opinion. I mean, you all probably thinking like, "What is Legion? That's such a small." But knowing who he is, and I'm not going to say it, but knowing if you've played it and you know what I'm talking about, knowing who he is, very logical. There's a huge overarching story in the Mass Effect series that has to do with AI, and he's kind of at the center of that. Of what AI's role is and if they can ever become more like organics. He's a very logical character, obviously. But yet always... I mean, he saves Commander Shepard at one point. That's not really a spoiler. You'll understand when you see it. And you don't know why at first. You're so confused. You're like, what? Like, I remember when I first met him, I was like, what is going on? Why did he do this? Like, completely goes against everything you've been taught in the game. And ends up being at the very end of the series, he ends up being one of the most... the last mission, I'm going to kind of ramble a little bit so don't eat a chip. But I'm trying to explain this in a way
Mark's like, dang it, I was going to eat my chip.
The last mission of 2, if you put him in... There's choices you have to make. You can put him in a situation, and he becomes like the ultimate hero in that. Just... unwavering partner and always he's heroic mathematically, if that makes sense. Like, he'll tell you that here's how he feels, but here's the math. It's like one of the most ingenious ways.
So he comes in the second game?
Yes.
Okay.
And you might not even no, he'll literally say these are the odds of this happening, these are the odds of this happening, but I would prefer this, even though
he's C-3PO.
I don't remember that scene.
Not quite as quirky, but you sit there and you go, man. So for something like this to say that this has a greater chance of succeeding, but he prefers the lower, for who he is, you're like, wow, he's like breaking the mold, and that's why he's my number one hero. Like, you don't ever think of this thing becoming a hero, but he is, and at the end of the series, you just are like blown away by his character. There are tons of heroes in Mass Effect series, but he by far was always my favorite and most interesting one.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're number one.
Legion
from the Mass Effect series.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah. I hope you get him. I hope you
get him. Is it optional?
Yeah. You may not even. That's the thing about Mass Effect series. You and I could play, and we'd be like, yeah.
But I don't want to replay
is that
anything.
the dude that
Yes.
you find?
The what? Yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, hold on. This has been... I've been wanting to eat this
Just eat
it.
whole
Just go ahead
episode.
and eat it.
He was really wanting to eat that chip.
All right. Before we move on to our last bit, which is the bi-weekly question, there's one other thing that I want to do real quick. So this is episode 10, and you guys have been putting up with my BS and giving me answers when I wanted them, helping me out. I mean,
And
a
we're
lot of
fired.
times, to be honest with you, like, I won't even have some of the answers that I want, and which is why I ask you. Like the whole thing with Stitch's interview.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't have any questions that I could think of off the top of my head. I almost used all of them from the ones that you guys gave me. So to kind of both show you both my appreciation for everything you guys have done for these past 10 episodes.
We're fired.
And yes, fired's done. In addition to, just being here and kind of just, being our 10th and milestone episode. We got you something.
Markers.
We got gifts.
You got gifts. This is an early Christmas present.
Okay.
Woo!
Don't say what it is. Go ahead and open it.
Okay.
Go ahead and open it, but
Okay.
don't say what it is.
Mark,
this
you-
is this
it's a
is
death
going to
threat.
be. Yeah, go ahead.
Mark, you first.
Oh my god, I can imagine what it is.
I can too.
I know what size this is.
Oh!
This is going to be our review for episode 12. I'm gonna give you guys a month,
Okay.
and because I haven't beaten it yet. I've just played to the very end. I'm going to
Excellent.
start
Extra
over.
thing attached
Thanks,
to it.
JJ.
We're going to play
That
for the next month. We're going to get this game
Okay.
done, so that should give us plenty of time to do it.
cool.
On the next episode, we'll go ahead and announce what it is. But
All right.
again, this is just a big thank you to you guys.
Well, thank
for,
you, man.
for putting up with me and
thanks.
for staying along for the ride.
Yeah.
I think our listener base isn't massive right now, and thank you to you guys, by the way, for sure, for listening to us this long.
For sure.
But I think what we have is pretty darn good. So, and we totally appreciate everybody giving us a chance. And
10 going on a million, right?
Yep.
absolutely. So, yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
I would like
It's been miserable.
I would like
hate it.
somebody. Thanks, JJ. We appreciate the gift. It's going to be quite fun. Actually,
Yeah.
I watched my brother play a little bit of it.
you knew it was coming. You knew
But
it was coming.
I've wanted to start this series, and I know this is the prequel to the series.
No, it's not.
This is not.
This is not. This is the final
other
game
one?
in the series, actually.
Ooh.
But I think it's a good starting
the-
entry.
We'll have to talk about that. What's the name? Okay.
What's that other one with the?
Yeah, well, there's
other
another
title?
one.
I'll show it to you after the show.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Thanks, JJ. And like we said, we're going to be here. We're going to do it.
Yep.
One going on a million. I would like somebody how if we do this bi-weekly, can you guys calculate how old we will be if we do a million episodes? Will we be a lot older than we think?
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about
24 a year. That's
Go
all.
add. Do the
That's
math in
all.
your head.
24
right now.
That's all.
divided by 24 divided by a million.
Why don't you write a paragraph on it, Mark? So, all right. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to our last segment really quick. The bi-weekly question. We didn't really get too many responses on the Facebook page, so I mean nothing like substantial or anything. Yes, I'm aware that Kyle responded, but sorry, buddy, it wasn't anything super spectacular. But the question was, Grand Theft Auto 5 has gone above and beyond anything else in the entertainment industry thus far, sales-wise. What do you think this means for the gaming industry as a whole? Brian, you were the one that kind of posed this question in the beginning. So why don't you go ahead and start us off? What do you think this means?
I just want to point out we'll be 41,666 years old if we did a million episodes.
Let's do it. I want to live that long.
We'll probably finish at least get halfway done with our backlog by then.
But man, I'm gonna be on Final Fantasy VII.
Shoot. Yeah. Touche.
Okay, so what I meant by this question was, I feel like, okay, so this piece of entertainment blew every other piece of entertainment out of the water. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna have to take video games seriously as an industry, and that's good for video gamers. You're going to start seeing a lot more companies taking chances. You're going to see a lot more game companies. They want to get on that $1 billion in 3 days. I mean, that's
crazy.
That's and so what you see, because what happened after Avatar, right? They had 3D explode. Everyone wanted to get on the 3D. This is the same kind of situation. Companies are going to say, you know what? We don't need to make little dink and dunk games. Let's make a big game.
Dink
That's a
and
problem.
dunk games.
That's a problem.
You know what I mean? Like companies are like, well, let's just make a little tiny one-off game that's not going to be. But now companies are like, oh,
That's exactly what I was going to say.
AAA titles are actually a legit business strategy. Look at this.
You guys know who Cliff Bleszinski is?
No.
He's like the creator of Gears of War and helped with Unreal Tournament. I don't know if he created it or
Yeah,
not.
I'm kind of familiar.
And he tweeted something in response to SimCity having DRM where he said DRM made it possible for them to surpass like 5 million in sales or whatever. And he said, we have to have DRM to make a profit because we have to pay for these, $50,000 or $50 million, $100 million budgets for video games. And that's just not true. That's true if you're going for the GTA model. And not every game is going to be GTA.
True.
So I think it's kind of setting up this false goal where people want to sell.
Right.
They want to break records and
But-
sell the most games
but
ever, and that's not going to happen every time.
Yeah, but that's
Of course not.
bad for the. I mean, as a video gamer, that's great for us because companies are going to be,
Well, DRM's not great for us.
Oh,
So when they fail to make a profit and they try and blame it, and they push the blame off onto
Sure.
piracy when that's not the case.
No, it never is the case.
Well, it might be the case, but
Yeah. Let's be real here.
I think it might put some indie games at risk. Not indie games really, but more just the smaller budget games from big publishers who just want to make the big AAA game.
I mean, there's nothing else we can do other than see what happens. I think Brian's right. I think we are definitely like going to be seeing emergence of people who are going to be trying to push a lot more boundaries.
Sure.
And I mean, everybody's going to want a piece of that success. That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
$1 billion in 3 days?
Yeah.
That's insane.
You know, right now companies went, "Hey, stop making that Angry Birds knockoff, and let's think of a real IP."
The thing is, they really need to think about how Grand Theft Auto got to that point.
Yes.
It wasn't, I mean, this was not their first game,
No.
obviously.
No.
This was
Right.
something that was in the making,
Right.
from, years ago, and people were anticipating this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get that just from a brand new IP.
But you need the new IP to build it.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, you need a foundation.
Sure.
So, and I think that's the point you were trying to make, is that you're going to start seeing like a lot of more chances being taken with new titles coming out.
And think about the companies who are going to be like, you know what, let's get into gaming. Look at that.
I don't know about that.
They're going to be popping up.
No, but I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well, no, it may not be a good idea for like the people who are starting these businesses, but as a gamer, I'm excited to see of an influx of new games.
Hello Kitty
Sure.
Island Adventure.
Right.
All right.
Do you guys know about what George Lucas and Steven Spielberg said about the movie industry like a year ago?
No.
They said that it's getting ready for a massive implosion because movie budgets have gotten so huge and so few of them actually take off that the banks are going to pull out.
Yeah.
They're going to have to start making smaller movies. And I think we're setting ourselves up for that with video games as well.
I can see that. But
Yeah, but you know what? If that's the case, then what you were saying might not happen also. You might see
True.
a rise of, indie games at that point.
That would be nice.
So, I mean,
For me, not
who
for
knows?
you.
I think because there are indie games and everything like that, you're always going to find somewhere there's going to be a balance.
Yeah.
So I mean, if one side starts to struggle, the other side's going to be doing well. Mm-hmm. So, and you're always going to have fans of everything.
True.
And I think movies are the same way. So
And you can. Now that they're going to obviously do that either way.
Absolutely.
You can't ask them not to.
right.
Don't try and make money. Stop it.
all right, well,
Yeah.
good stuff. Next episode, I really just wanted to. I actually heard this on the RPG cast that I listened to from rpgamer.com, and I kind of wanted to pose this question as well because it's something that is near and dear to my heart. But the next question for the next episode is going to be, how do you feel about the direction that the Final Fantasy series has been going? Do you think it's kind of forgetting its roots and where it came from, or should it just stay on the same track that it's been going on for the past couple of games? So again, that'll be up on the Facebook page.
Very cool.
So I think that about does it for
Yep.
this episode.
Way to go,
Episode
guys.
10, man. So yeah, hit us up at our email, frozennorthpodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/thefrozennorth. Hit us up on Twitter at FN Podcast. And please subscribe and rate us on iTunes.
Yeah.
So please just, email, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Just let us know what you think. Let us know if there's a game you want us to review.
Yep.
And I want to be clear, like, we don't do heavy, in-depth, super reviews on stuff. We just want to try and
No,
give you a little bit of a taste and tell you what we think.
Yeah, we're real gamers who just like real games.
That's kind of what the top fives are for. If you tend to agree with one of us, then you probably end up agreeing with us on the review decisions that we make, whether we recommend something or not. So please just let us know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. All feedback is good feedback. I don't know what our top 5 list is going to be for the next episode yet. We'll probably talk about that, before we leave here tonight. But again, I want to thank everybody for helping us get to 10 episodes, and thank you guys for sticking with me. And
Heck yeah, man, it's a blast.
so hopefully we'll be here for many, many more. And I don't have anything else, Mark.
That's all I got.
All right,
I got
Brian.
nothing.
Anything about Rise?
Oh God, I blew it. I tried to keep a straight face. I was like, "Hey," and then I got to Rise, which what was I thinking?
Brian suggested the whole debate system.
He did.
And I kind of enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's
did, I
fun.
liked it
It's
too.
fun to kind of get our,
We'll probably do something like that eventually
Sure.
again. So, all right. Well, with that, this is the Frozen North signing off. My name is JJ.
My name is Mark.
My name is probably Brian.
Thanks again, and keep on gaming.
This song was made available via the Creative Commons Attribution License. The song, Somewhere in the Stars, was written and produced by SoundCloud user _TWC.